Have you ever felt like your life is just stuck on pause? You feel like you're doing everything you're supposed to, you're working hard, you're praying, making dua, but that marriage you've been hoping for, or that financial stability, that risk, it just isn't showing up. It's a struggle so many of us know well, and honestly, it can be really, really tough. So today, let's dive into the Islamic perspective on these delays and try to uncover the incredible wisdom behind what can feel like a never-ending wait. Okay, so before we jump into the solutions, it's so important that we just acknowledge the feeling itself, that deep, aching frustration when life just refuses to follow our schedule. Because this isn't some small inconvenience. For a lot of us, it's a heavy, emotional weight we carry around every day. And this is where your mind goes, right? These are the questions that just echo in your head on a loop. Why me? Why isn't it happening now? These thoughts can really create this cycle of stress and anxiety, especially when it feels like your expectations are just never met. It's a totally human reaction to a really hard situation. And it all kind of boils down to this, doesn't it? The frustration of feeling like your life is delayed. I mean, you look around and you see your friends and peers moving on, getting married, hitting career goals, and it is so easy to feel like you've been left behind, stuck in this permanent waiting room. So, when we actually break down these emotions, what are we looking at? Well, no surprise, frustration is the biggest piece of the pie, right? And impatience is right behind it. But look, despair and even jealousy can start to sneak in there. These feelings are completely normal, but they're also like little warning lights telling us it might be time to find a new way of looking at things. So, how do we find that new perspective? It all starts with this one core idea, a concept that can literally change everything. In Islam, a delay from Allah is never a denial. It's more like an invitation to shift our view from our own super limited human timeline to an infinite divine one. And that is the whole key right there. Where we see a closed door, Islam teaches us that Allah al-Hakim, the most wise, is actually just preparing a better, safer path for us. So it's not about what's being kept from you, but what's being prepared for you. This verse, this is the bedrock for our trust. It's such a powerful reminder that our knowledge is just so incomplete. We might desperately want something, a specific person, a specific job, and have no idea about the potential disaster it could bring into our lives. But Allah, in His infinite wisdom, He sees the entire picture. So please, try to remember this. These delays are not just random acts of fate. They are purposeful, divinely planned moments where Allah is actively working behind the scenes for your ultimate benefit. Your story is still being written, and the author is the absolute best of planners. So now that we've kind of reframed what delay even means, let's explore the why. Why would Allah delay our blessings? What is the secret mercy that's hidden inside these periods of waiting? Well, it often breaks down into these three beautiful forms of mercy. First, there's protection from harm. That quick marriage or that shiny new job could have hidden dangers we just can't see. Second, it's a time for spiritual prep. The wait actually gives us a chance to grow and strengthen our faith. And third, it's often preparation for something even greater than what we originally asked for. And you know what? We see this exact pattern play out in the stories of the prophets. Think about Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him. He faced unbelievable delays before he finally got his kingship and was unified with his family, but it all led to so much more honor. Or even our own beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who experienced delays in revelation that ultimately built his patience and made his faith rock solid for the huge mission ahead. So it really all comes down to this contrast, doesn't it? Our default human view sees a delay and immediately translates it into frustration and stress. But when we can switch to the divine view, we can start to see it as a form of relief. It's a gift of mental and emotional space to breathe, to refine our choices, and to avoid jumping into something impulsive that we might regret later. All right, so understanding the why is a huge first step. But what about the how? I mean, how do we actually navigate the wait? What are the practical, spiritual tools that Islam gives us to not just get through this period, but to actually come out stronger on the other side? First up is sabr, or patience, and it is so, so important that we understand this correctly. Sabr isn't just sitting on your hands and passively waiting for something to happen. No, it's an active state of trust. It means you keep striving, you keep making good choices, you maintain your hope, and you keep your heart firmly connected to Allah. So here's a simple 3-step framework for your spiritual practice during these times. Number 1, you actively practice sabr. Number 2, you pour your heart out in dua. And number 3, you consistently seek forgiveness through istighfar. See, it's not a passive formula. It's an active way to stay spiritually engaged and strong while you wait. And let's talk about dua. It's your direct line to Allah. It is, without a doubt, a believer's most powerful response to literally any challenge. Because when you make dua, you're not just asking for an outcome. You're actually aligning your heart and your soul with His divine plan. And that brings this incredible peace even when you're still in that waiting period. So what about istighfar? Well, think of seeking forgiveness as clearing the path. Sometimes our own sins or shortcomings can create these spiritual roadblocks. So by regularly seeking forgiveness, you're helping to remove those blocks, which could be the very thing clearing the way for the blessings you're waiting for. I mean, what could possibly be more comforting than this? This isn't just a nice saying. It's a promise from Allah. When you are patient, you are not waiting alone. You are in the company and under the protection of Allah Himself. Just let that sink in for a second. So, after navigating the wait with these tools, what's the ultimate reward? What is the beautiful promise that's waiting at the end of this journey of patience? The reward, in one word, is barakah. It's that divine, abundant blessing that infuses everything with a goodness that lasts. A marriage that was delayed can lead to a union that is so much stronger and more blessed. Rizq that came late can result in wealth that's stable and sustainable. It's about quality, not speed. And as you're waiting with sabr, start looking for these little signs, because they will come. You might start to feel that inner peace coming back, even if your situation hasn't changed. Small, subtle opportunities might just start popping up. That feeling of hope that might have faded, it will slowly start to return. And you'll just feel a sense of guidance in your decisions. And for those really hard days, and we all have them, when your hope is just running on empty, please hold on tight to this one truth. Allah is Al-Fattah, the opener. He is the best of planners. Your story is completely safe in His hands, and His plan for you is always, always perfect. So if you walk away with just one single idea today, let it be this one. Trust, or tawakkul, is the bridge. It's what carries you from the painful land of frustration all the way over to the calm destination of divine relief. So maybe the real question isn't, when will this end, but rather, how can I strengthen my bridge of trust today?